Let's do it.
Let's do it. So we're back with our mixed and blended family podcast. It's
Please.
been a little bit of a hiatus.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Gonna,
A lot has
gonna,
happened since last year when we last recorded.
we took a joyride.
We
The
did.
wrong turn somewhere.
I think we needed a
That
little
is,
bit of a break though.
yeah. It's like we took a wrong turn and then we refused to use GPS.
That sounds like you. Your GPS can't even get you to the right
Yeah,
location.
I know.
So it sounds more like a you problem than a me problem.
Oh, you were in the car, so.
Hmm. I think we should reintroduce ourselves, especially that we're going to be including YouTube on like our sharing platform for the podcast.
Yeah,
So, shall we do this thing?
I'm
You
Jose.
ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm Carmen. Jose and I are together, but we're a biracial blended family. I came into this with 5 kids and met Jose with one. And now we're
And
expecting baby number 2.
baby
So
number 2.
we had a little girl in March of last year. So she's a year old. And we'll have a little boy at the end of July or beginning of August. So we'll have our own little pair.
There.
Everybody always asks people, like, you had your little boy and little girl, so you're done, right?
Yep, sure are. Maybe not though. Who knows? You know, who knows? Who knows these things, man? Who knows these things? No one ever know. You don't know. So you don't know.
Adult
So
fun leads to adult issues.
yeah, you don't know. Cause I not get snipped, man. I not.
I think it should be you.
It's dead, but a knife is not coming near me
It's not a
unless
knife,
I
it's like a
wield
little
it.
laser. Zip, 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 and you're done.
Well, the only person who's gonna be wielding a laser is me, and I'm not wielding it at my own shit. Okay.
So we also moved into our travel trailer. So we live in like a, what is it, 37-foot travel trailer.
Yeah. Home. It's the best decision we've ever made
Agreed.
thus far. Best decision. If you have kids and um, you know, you wanna break from if you have kids and you don't wanna, utilize the rabbit hole or the hamster wheel, get a travel trailer because you won't be confined to the status quo.
But see, in a way, we're kind of still stuck to it because we're stationary right now. We're getting used to it. We're having to like downsize. We're having
I'm having to
to,
downsize.
yeah,
I'm having the most
definitely
trouble
you.
downsizing
Your stuff is definitely everywhere.
every fucking where. Blaming the kids.
Um,
I'm like, shit, that's my shit. Get your shit out. Wait, that's my shit.
yeah, that's definitely the case.
Clean up this fucking shit. And oh my god. I'm sorry, that's
I
my
went
stuff.
from coming home from a very stressful, high demanding job and picking up kids to meeting you at home. And we rarely ever had dinner. It was usually takeout 95% of the time.
Yeah.
And like now I cook 95% of the time.
Yeah,
Even
it's
if it's
awesome.
something like simple. And there's some days that it's multiple meals that I cook in a day. So look at me. It's
Yeah,
definitely
it's pretty
been
awesome.
a an adjustment, but a really nice one. Adult time has been challenging sometimes.
How so?
We went from having our own bedroom that we could lock the door to having our own bedroom with sliding doors and little fingers who like to stand outside of it. Or
I still prefer this. So
no, I'm
I
not
still
saying that
prefer.
it's not preferred. I'm just saying that those have been some of the adjustments we have faced.
So has been your biggest challenge thus far in this whole change? What has been your biggest? Um,
I,
what is the biggest thing you've had to overcome?
um, I don't know. Before I was working full time and I had a schedule in my head where we had to be at a house by a certain time, but I only had to take the two little kids because they were on the same side of town as me. And now we have to have a strict schedule because I literally like we drop off everybody at once. So we make one big circle with everybody, and leaving, even if it's just 5 minutes late, makes a huge difference on a kid making it to school on time or not.
Yeah,
So I think that's been the most difficult part, but I think it also helps because since we've both started our own businesses, we're not like in that time crunch of, oh crap, we're on somebody else's time. We need to hurry up and get there so we don't get fired or we don't get in trouble. Where even before moving into the travel trailer, if I was late to my job, somebody always had like some backhanded comment to make.
yeah,
And that made it difficult because like you're doing the best that you can, and unfortunately when you work for somebody else, like that's not always enough. Where you're doing Amazon now and I'm doing virtual assistant work now, and as long as our hours are put in that we have decided we're going to work each day, nothing else really matters. We've done what we need to do. And if we get a phone call like 2 days ago when the daycare called and said we had to pick up the kids because they weren't feeling good, it was okay for me to drop everything to go get them and then come back and
right,
pick up what we were, what needed to be done.
right.
So
So the routine was the biggest thing you had to overcome. Like,
I think so. Like, I've never loved cooking, but I've enjoyed it more now because I'm not exhausted from working all those hours that I was working before.
right,
So even on nights where we're out late because of sports and stuff like that, and we're having dinner and it's 9 o'clock at night, I just make something simpler versus going all out for like the big meal that I was gonna make.
right.
So it's definitely been interesting to see like the changes happening and stuff, and I think quite often we've been getting the question more and more of like how we're managing. What has been your biggest adjustment?
Um, Trini has been my biggest adjustment. She has changed substantially, and I had to change with it. We all have had to change with it, and it's something that you know. something that time comes and sits in front of your door, and it's there, and um, it's like the Matrix. You take the blue pill or the red pill.
Yeah, definitely
Um,
dealing with teenagers going through not so much like the puberty side of it, but the change from child to young adult
yeah,
and like the first real relationship and that kind of the stuff that comes with it
yeah,
has been challenging because I mean none of us liked being told what to do or how to do it, but at the end of the day, like I think for us, we try to be as honest and real as possible with the kids
yeah,
and still let them make their own decisions. But, you know, obviously there comes a point where we have to kind of step in and be like, no, that's not happening.
yeah. Other than that, it's been um, I don't know, it's been progress. Like it's the first time in my adult life where I'm not on parole, not on paper, not having to report to the man,
Yeah,
and um, it's just um, a situation where it's mine to lose. It's not. It,
right. You
it,
control
it
your own
always,
fate.
yeah. So it's like I don't per se do anything that can, give me 25 to life. So
Yeah,
I'm not looking over my shoulder. I'm not, you know, and uh, it's a gratifying, satisfying. I got to see Tilly, um, literally all her first already, and
yeah,
she's still saying dad, dad. And I just heard her say mom for the first time yesterday.
yeah.
So,
No, it's definitely nice because, so for those who haven't listened from the beginning, you were gone the entire pregnancy. And while you did get to meet her, um, I think she was less than 10 days old when I took her in for the first time.
yeah,
And you, every week, those 2 hours we got to spend together were 2 hours that you spent with her.
yeah,
And it helped build that bond between the two of you, but you weren't physically here for the pregnancy, for the delivery, and things like that. And so this time around, do you feel like you're being able to take it in more?
well, yeah. I mean, of course, I get to, um, I get to be a part of it. Like she looks for me in the mornings. So, and that's really satisfying for me.
Yeah. But not just her, I'm talking like pregnancy wise as well. Like being able to, when we were seeing providers going to those appointments, or just you disgusting human child.
Yeah, it's great getting to be a part of it. Being in a cell, listening to you struggle and stuff, knowing I could, just a massage or something would make you feel better. That, that's the things when you're in prison. You're like, fuck, man. Like, I'd rather be massaging my lady than fucking playing pinochle or working out or playing basketball or listening to dumb shit. Count time, standing count, uh,
Yeah.
Beatrice George, lights on. eating next to your toilet, all that illegal shit. But, not illegal, but inhumane shit.
Yeah.
You know, eating next to your toilet 24/7. Because COVID really changed prison as a whole, and uh, I was going to the bathroom and eating for the every day. So
Yeah.
it's definitely gratifying. That and the fact that like I'm legitimately not. I don't have like another scheme of something to, you know, like I would say just another something to put me back. So
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah. It's definitely nice to have you home and to know that you'll be there when we have our son.
Yeah, yeah. Need some more testosterone around this. Because waking up every morning, all this estrogen. Oh my God.
Wah,
Takes me
wah,
back to
wah.
growing up. Takes me right back to when I was, as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, being a triplet and being the only boy,
Yeah. Brings me back to those days.
those should be happy memories.
Happy memories. I mean, they're happy and they're, violent. And
Yeah. So what can
so,
people expect to like follow along? Because we post a lot on TikTok and we're getting better at posting updates and snippets of our life and behind the scenes. And so now our podcast will be in video and audio format, so more people can kind of watch and tune in and get to know us. But what do you think over, let's say, the next year? What can they expect from us?
we're gonna show them, talk to them about, traveling and, RVing full time and Amazon and uh, birthing and just raw, real stuff. This stuff's
Yeah,
not easy. It's not easy at all,
it's
but
not.
it's um, it's enjoyable. Hopefully, we can inspire people to, you know, um, know that family is, not always the people who are related to you. It's, the people who are in your life every day.
Yeah.
Like I
And
would say that I
along with
would say
saying
that
like about how real it is. Go ahead.
I would just say like so. Um, I talk to my family, but you know, the people who I grew up with, but our family is who I talk to the most. Yeah. So
Yeah. I think along with all of that, it's like the being real part and our struggles, which I think you only get us a percent of what you see online is like the reality of things. And I think, well, it's harder to make a video and be like, you know, our daughter decided to sneak out in the middle of the night, or we found a vape in their room, which are all things that we've had to like kind of experience and stuff. Between the blog and the podcast, it gives us more of an opportunity to kind of go in depth on things that are happening. Because
yeah,
unfortunately, if we just post a snippet on, let's say, TikTok, for example, of like holy shit, we just found a vape in our daughter's room. Like, what's the best way for us to um address the issue and like the consequences of long term? Like, obviously they see you vape and I don't vape and we don't even drink. We try to show them the way to do things, but it's like also like that hypocritical, like, well, you vape, and not trying to be like, well, I'm an adult, like I can make those decisions now. So I think with us being able to post on social media and show you like the good times and the fun times that we're having, when you join into the podcast, you're also going to see those moments of vulnerability and how we're having to address certain issues within our own family, and we're not always going to have the answer and we're not always going to make the right choice, but we're definitely trying to do what's best for the kids.
Hmm. Do you realize that since, last time we podcast, we both have been admitted to the hospital for different things?
I know that's
Like we,
crazy.
like we got into a car accident, a bad one. Like,
There's so
um,
much that we have to catch people up on.
yeah,
It's
like
really, really crazy.
my legs blew up like two gigantic soccer balls. Um, you had, you know,
SVT for my heart,
yeah,
210 beats per minute. Yeah,
and, we're gonna publish all this stuff, and it's like, you know, so I, mean, I think about, so I have this one app that uh, I reach over thousands. Every post I reach, every single thing I say on there, I reach over 1,000 people, and um, before we, you know, put our family in a travel trailer, this guy said to me, he goes, "Don't do that to your kids. Why are you going to do that to them?" I'm like, "Do what to them?" And it's like, we're living, we're doing stuff that, people want to do when they retire. And it's like,
right.
what we're providing for them is definitely, things normal kids don't do. We're providing them
We're
opportunities.
giving them, exactly. We're giving them an opportunity to travel, to learn, to see, and both of us being self-employed at the exact same time, being able to make our own schedules, and both being able to do things that don't require us to sit at a desk 24/7 makes a difference. Because, like, for example, my birth professionals that I work with as a virtual assistant, they themselves, um, have busy schedules. They can't work 9 to 5. They work overnights. And so I know that if I have, when I have the baby, if I can't get my work done during the day, then when I'm up in the middle of the night for a feeding, changing diapers, whatever the case may be, I have that time to get that work done. And as long as I'm meeting, you know, my requirements for them within the time frame that we set, then we're golden. And so, as long as you're able to get to the store and find more product, we're fine. And that's something that we're able to fit around our schedules because we're out so often, dropping off kids, picking up kids, that when we're out and about, we have all of these opportunities to get stuff done where, I can drive so you can figure out what you're kind of eyeing. And then once we get there, you can get out and I can stay in the car and get work done. And, just like being able to have that flow is a huge benefit to us.
Right.
And so a lot of people don't get that. My biological children have done a little bit more traveling than Trinity, for example. And I think she's the one currently who's having the biggest struggle with us going on the road full time. But I think once she gets that exposure to be like, holy crap, like I can literally say, we're in Texas. I want to go check out this museum, this show, this whatever. And to be able to make that happen for them, I think is going to help with like helping them kind of adjust to the change.
Yeah. Like she doesn't even know. She doesn't even get what's about to happen. Like the stuff she's about to be able to do. She doesn't get it. She doesn't understand it. She
But
just
it's but
cares
it's
about.
not even her fault. It's because it wasn't a reality for her before.
Yeah.
And so it's harder to trust that something's going to happen when it's never happened for you before.
Right.
Where like Faith, grew up where every weekend for months, for even longer than months, probably even a few years, like we could just go up every weekend and go to Disney because we had a place to stay, we had season passes, we could take food in with us. And it was just one of those things that it was like, well, all we had to do is pay for gas, so why not go?
Right.
And now they have that opportunity again. And so, of course, they, like Faith will struggle because she wants certain things or like envisions certain things, but it's like getting them to see it without forcing it. And I think it's just even at minimum, like, hey, give us an opportunity of 6 months. If in 6 months we don't like it, if it's not what we thought it was going to be, if whatever, then let's sit down and have a different conversation and see what we can do.
Yeah.
But until we do it, it's one of those things that it's just like out of sight, out of mind.
Right. It's just growing up, man.
Yep.
It's just growing.
Right now there's 6 kids with us full time. I'm 29 weeks pregnant. You just turned 41, old man.
Yeah, I did.
And so we, have a lot going on, a lot that's happened that we'll catch people up on and, keep sharing those experiences that we have always shared before. But, to be quite frank, you and I had to work on like our communication and how real and honest we wanted to be.
Yeah.
Um, and that's the hard part. It's being honest and communicating in a way that's not hurting, your partner's feelings. And those are things that like we'll definitely be covering in future podcasts. So I think it's definitely going to help. And then so our plan is to have a new podcast out every Friday. And then we'll have like our recap of things that have happened in that week. Um, we'll also have the website. It's up and running now. It's mixedandblendedpodcast.com for people to be able to go and check out. And then there we'll be able to update a little bit more in between. We'll be doing RV park reviews for places that we've stayed with our thoughts on each one, things that we learn about RVing.
Oh, I'll be giving away a phone once a month.
So we'll have a lot of good stuff. The phones will be running through our mailing list, correct? So they have to sign up for the mailing list,
Yeah,
and then we'll randomly choose somebody from our mailing list to get that phone. Is that correct?
that is correct.
So make sure you visit the website and then join the mailing list. If you have difficulties, you can reach out to us. Um, Make sure you follow us on social media because we're obviously going to be posting there most often. And then we are happy to answer any questions. There is going to be a link below where you can do like a voice memo with any questions that you have, and then we can play them on air or listen to them and then answer those questions as well because we want to make sure that we, are answering your questions and involving you in our family.
Indeed.
So until then, we will see each other next week.
Next week.